Hey, what's up guys? This is Stefan from ProjectLifeMastery.com, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different than how I normally do things on this channel. You know, the other day I was going back through the Project Life Mastery YouTube channel and watching some older videos that I had published of myself back in 2012, about 6 years ago. I used to look a little bit different. I had this thing called hair back then. And I'm not sure if you've ever experienced this before, where you look back at yourself years ago, maybe it's photos or videos or whatever it is, and you kind of cringe a little bit. You know, you look at yourself and you see, you know, just have the quality of the camera or how you used to speak or talk back then. Well, I often have that experience sometimes when I look back at myself, and thankfully I've evolved and grown a lot since then. But some of the videos I came across, I was thinking, man, this is really good. You know, some of the content and some of what I'm sharing here is really useful. And I know that I could benefit a lot of people, and there's a message there. There's some really good content that I decided, you know what, I should republish this. I should share it with you guys today, because I know a lot of you guys haven't watched all the videos that I have. I've got a lot of videos here on my channel that I've put a lot of time, effort, energy into. Some of them have some really incredible messages and content and just reminders that we need to revisit again and again. And so the video I want to share with you guys today is from 2012. I was 25, 26 years old, and it was actually while I was on a trip in Peru. I was actually on Machu Picchu. I did this incredible view and background and environment that I was in, and back then I didn't have the level of camera equipment and the audio equipment that I have today. Back then I just had this little digital camera that I would just kind of put on a rock or a stack of books. I didn't have a tripod back then, so I just find a way to kind of ledge it on something and then just record myself and talk. And the topic of this video is on the power of belief and faith. Something that I think we all need to remind ourselves of and make sure that we keep that belief and that faith, because that's what's guided me to where I'm at today in my life, and it's something that I believe that is something that everybody, no matter what you're going through right now in your life, can benefit from, remind yourself of, and keep that as long as you're pursuing the dreams, the success, you're on that road, you're on that journey, which I know so many of you are on right now. So enjoy this video.
Hey guys, this is Stefan from ProjectLifeMastery.com. I'm in Machu Picchu, Peru right now, and as you can see from behind me, the view is incredible. It's actually probably one of the most incredible views I've ever experienced in my life. And since I've been here, I've been in amazement by what I've been seeing. You know, the fact that this city behind me was built in the 1400s, and the stonework, everything involved, it was built without the machinery and the tools that we have today. And the fact that it was built on this mountain where it's about 2,000 meters above sea level, it's incredible. And it really makes you think about what's possible and what human beings are really capable of. And it's really just expanded my mind, my reality of what's possible for my own self and my own life. And it kind of leads into what I want to talk to you guys today about, which is the power of belief. Everything that's amazing in this world, everything that was created or invented, or a vision or dream that was pursued and created that a lot of us enjoy today, a lot of that stuff wouldn't have been possible without first having belief, without believing in yourself that whatever it is that I'm pursuing or going after is possible, that I can do this, that I can turn the invisible and make it visible, that I can turn a dream into a reality. And, you know, it just kind of reminded me from my own life, and I want to kind of maybe share this with you guys. It's just having more belief in yourself, believing that something's possible first. When you pursue it, that's the first step, because without that belief, then you're not going to take any action. Without the belief, you're not going to take the first step. Without the belief, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to be immobilized. You're going to stay where you are. In fact, you're actually going to go backwards. And there's a saying that people say, you know, which is, when I see it, then I'll believe it. And that's bullshit. The truth is that when you believe it, when you see it in your mind first, then you will see it. Everything that you want to create in your life, guys, first starts up here. It starts in your inner world, in your mind, in your brain. It starts with a thought or an idea or a vision, a goal, something that you first see in your mind first, and it's so vivid and clear, and you're so excited and passionate about it that you pursue it. And it kind of leads to what I believe is the ultimate belief, which is faith. And faith to me is just trusting. It's you know, you might not have any references or anything to support what you believe being possible, but you just trust that it's possible. You just know inside of you, and you have that faith that whatever it is that you're pursuing or going after is going to work out the way you see it. And faith is just so powerful. It's one of the most powerful things I think that human beings are really a part of us, you know, to be happy and to be fulfilled and to be free. You know, in order to start a business, you have to have faith. In order for you to enter a new relationship, you have to have faith. You have to believe, you have to trust that the future is going to be something different than how it was in the past. And unfortunately, so many people are living in the past. They let the past dictate their future. And one of my favorite quotes from Tony Robbins is, "Your past does not equal your future." And a lot of people are still living in the past. Just because you failed in the past, just because you had a bad relationship, just because you got hurt or you got screwed over or this horrible fucking thing happened to you does not mean that it's going to happen again in the future. So as long as you're living in the past, there will be no future. Because you're going to be immobilized. And for me, you know, the past is something that I learn from. I take from it. I take the lessons. I learn from my experiences, but I don't let those failures, those past, you know, heartbreaks or pain or whatever it is that I went through, I don't let that define me. I don't let that control and dictate where I'm going in the future today. So I think that's a really important lesson to understand, is to have that faith, that vision. And part of the ways that I have that faith in myself, that belief with anything it is that I'm pursuing and going after, is I look at so many of the success stories, the inspirations around me, and I study them, I learn from them, I read biographies. You know, I read about Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's just, you know, an incredible inspiration for me, because here's a guy who grew up in Austria, and he, you know, moved to America to pursue a dream of becoming a bodybuilding champion, to be, you know, Mr. Olympia and everything. And people, you know, rejected this guy his whole life. People told him that he couldn't do it and were holding him back. And nobody else believed in himself but himself. And that's all you really need. And sure enough, he came to America. He became Mr. Olympia, I think 7 times. You know, the greatest bodybuilder in history. And then he had this other dream, this other vision for himself, which is that he wanted to be the highest paid actor in the world. And again, everybody was holding him back. Everyone's saying that it can't be done. Everybody was saying, you know, that, you know, your body is oversized and you have a last name that nobody can pronounce, and, you know, nobody can understand your accent. But he didn't let that stop him. He still had that belief. He had that faith in himself that it could be done, that it was possible. And sure enough, he achieved that. And then after that, you know, he wanted to be the governor of California and get into politics. Exact same thing. People were saying you don't have a political background and all this kind of stuff. But he believed in himself. He had that faith. And sure enough, he achieved that as well. And when you know, read about or you hear about these stories from people, it really just opens up your mind, because it makes you believe, wow, if they can do it, I can do it as well. You know, it's possible. You look at a Roger Bannister, the first man who ran a 4-minute mile, where, you know, since the time of the ancient Greeks, no human being has ever been able to accomplish that. And once he did run that 4-minute mile, just by changing his belief first, he changed his mindset. He visualized and saw himself achieving it again and again and again. Through that belief, he achieved it. And sure enough, that year, and I think it was 30 other people actually ran a 4-minute mile, just because they too had that belief that it was possible after somebody went first. After somebody else took that step, had that belief, that vision, and achieved it. And now today, high school kids can run a 4-minute mile. And so it's just extraordinary, the power of our mind. And one great book that I've been reading is called Psycho-Cybernetics. I think it's by Maxwell Maltz. And he talks about how all great performers, whether it's a professional athlete, an actor, anybody that's really successful, they first envision it first. They visualize, they see it again and again, and they change their mindset, the belief, which is what makes whatever it is they're pursuing possible. And one kind of way of thinking that I really believe and kind of live by, which is that anything in life you want to achieve or pursue, 80% of anything is your psychology, and only 20% of the mechanics. You know, it starts with the mindset, because to achieve something, there's so many ways to do it. There's so many ways to get in great shape. There's so many ways to, you know, make $1 million or be financially free or to have a great relationship. There's so many people that have done it. You know, but the actions, the steps aren't really that important. You know, there's so many strategies to achieve anything it is that you want in your life. But what stops people is their mindset, that lack of belief, that lack of faith. And if you change that, if you change your belief about what's possible, what you're really capable of, and there will be no more limits. You can really achieve anything that you believe that you can achieve. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And whatever you believe will become real for you, whether it's true or not. So the place that I am right now has just got me thinking a lot. And I hope this message to you, this video blog, really gets you to think and tap more into your potential as a human being, of what you're really capable of. Because a lot of the clients that I've coached or people that I've met, or some of the emails that I get, are people saying, yeah, I want to achieve this, I want to go after this, but I don't really believe that it can happen. They start doubting themselves. They start you know, having these insecurities that come up, or they have this fear. All of that doubt, all that insecurity, all that fear is based on the past. And you're still letting that define you. And you just got to eliminate that and just be in the present moment. And just realize that you're capable of so much if you actually believe that you are. And you trust yourself, you trust the process, and you have that vision, that goal, and you make it so vivid, you make it so real, and you just keep focusing on that. And whenever this negative bullshit comes up, whenever that doubt or that limiting beliefs show up in your life, you just keep focusing on where you want to go. Alright, so just keep focusing on that, and you will get there, I guarantee it. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Machu Picchu, Peru. I'm coming back to North America soon. In about a week, I'm actually going to Palm Springs for a Tony Robbins Date with Destiny event, which I'm looking forward to. And then a week after that, I'm back into Canada just before Christmas time. And I hope you guys have been enjoying a lot of these videos I've been putting out. I just want to kind of capture some of the experiences and the moments that I've had and share that with you guys as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.